Okay, it's already, shall we wait until 1 more minute? I want to thank everyone who is already here, 44 of you. Oh, Dr. Yong, you got 44 people. Oh, wow. Thank you, Dr. Yong. I got you. It's not, it's the session that I'm doing, it's not going to be, it's going to be interactive by me asking you question, because I can't, I'm still quite bad actually with this online thing. And I hope the slides that I will share with you, you can have them if you want. But please do not share it with those who did not attend the session. Because the examples I give, the examples I took for my sessions are real examples from students' work, from different universities, from Universiti Malaya, from Universiti Putra, Malaysia, from everywhere else. So I actually have to get permission, but that's the reason why I just take some parts of it, of the examples I use for the presentation. So it's not, I am not intending, there's no names. The idea is to highlight some of the common mistakes that people do in their writing, especially in relation to making meaning, or in terms of not just making meaning, logic of the writing. We have, I should say, I have the feeling that many of you face the problem of making yourself clear in terms of writing. Well, when we speak, it doesn't matter, we have grammatical errors, nobody is going to judge you. But when you have errors in your writing, people will start judging you. So let me start. I think we have many already coming in. So thank you. Thank you, Aisha Johari from UITM Shah Alam. Thanks for joining me. I will welcome those people who are from other universities, from different countries as well. I found out there are people from Turkey who are joining me for today, and I hope it's worth your time. Yeah, and I do not want to disappoint you. So thanks, and I know some of my students are here too. Some of you are colleagues who I think you don't have to be here, but you just want to entertain yourself with what I have here for today. Okay, there is some information on your attendance there, right? So you need, for those who need certificate of attendance, that you join me in this session, you can use the link that is given in the chat. Okay. All right. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Hashima, Dr. Yong Meifan from UPM. All these are very learned language users, and I'm sure many of you are my students and all other students from other countries, that you already know what I'm going to share with you. There's no secrets, and you can always find a lot of things on the internet actually. But what I have here is just to refresh you with some of the points that I thought worth pointing at in terms of why grammar is important. If anyone wants to help me here, you can write in your chat. My first question: why is grammar important? If you have any answers, please write on the in the chat. Yeah, because if I were to stop, sometimes the voice is not clear. If you cannot hear me, let me know. Okay. Yes, Fakhzan say you can ask any questions here. Yes, Fakhzan is going to answer all the questions that we have. I will try my best to answer your questions, because like I say, any of you here who know, maybe know a bit more than me, you can always jump in and answer the questions if you want, or you can interject. Okay, now let's start with these slides. My name is Dr. Norita. You know, for those who do not know me, I teach English literature, literary theory, and literary methodology class, as well as gender literary or women studies literature related to women. Okay. So I am very interested. I'm not a linguist. I'm a literary expert. Okay, but I did rhetoric and composition. I taught composition in the United States for about 2 semesters. So I also helped the English for second language, I think, coordinator with a grammar handbook when I was a master student. So just a bit of background how I got to like to work on grammar, and almost like every time I read, I would try to find grammatical error in everything I do, even my own work. It's just fun for me. Yeah, because I know the person who is actually promoting this, Professor Bujang Kim Huat, who is the director. He is the director, right, Fakhzan?
Yes, correct. Our campus director.
Yes, I forgot to tell you that this session is organized by the UPM Campus Bintulu, yeah, not Serdang.
Yes.
So I want to thank all the team members who work hard in promoting and making the poster and setting up this video conference. Okay, so all done with the introduction. Now, look at the first slides. Have you eaten, Grandma? Eats, leaves, eats, shoots, and leave. Very common that you see this phrase. Anyone can help me? What does this mean? My question, if you can hear me. Can you help me? What's wrong with, or there's nothing wrong with this? Okay, there is this book here. I don't know whether you can see that. Eat. Can you see this? Eat.
Yeah. Yes, we can see that. Yeah.
Okay. There's a book. It's called Have You Eaten, Grandma? You know, I have the book. And the other one is it's a line I got from a friend in national. He was with National University of Singapore, and now he's a freelance writer, a good scholar actually. Eats, shoots, and lives. He has this. Okay, can you please help me with the meaning of these two sentences, or not sentences, phrase? Yeah, it's not a clause; it's a phrase. So at this point in time, I assume that you know what a clause and a clause and a phrase is. Yeah. Anyone wants to give it a try?
Hi, Dr. Norita, I'll try.
Oh, wait, who is that?
That's Aisha from UITM.
Oh,
Right.
yes, Aisha. Oh,
So
yes.
the first line, it's ambiguous in the sense that if you don't have the comma, it would mean that you have you or have you not eaten grandma, as in you ate grandma, a person, you have eaten someone. And so if you typically people want to use the first definition, which is to ask a grandma whether she has eaten or not. And so you would require a comma before eaten. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes. You are right. Yeah. Thank you for your explanations. That's a wonderful explanation. One that I always relate to, have you eaten grandma, is the story. What is the story that, eating grandma? Everyone should know this.
The three little pigs and the wolf.
Yes. The wolf is asked, who is asking who eat grandma, yeah? So that's the story that everyone should know. Have you eaten grandma? That in relation to the story. This is what happened. If you don't have a punctuation, you want to ask grandma, have you eaten, grandma? Then you have a punctuation. Punctuation is a comma, right? The punctuation here is not a semicolon, but it's a comma. So, have you eaten, comma, grandma? You're asking grandma if she has eaten for today. If not, you become the wolf in the story. That the wolf is going to eat your grandma. And the other line is, it's for vegetarians, right? You say there's no subject here. It say that eat shoots and leaves. Who eats shoots and leaves? Who 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 does who would be the person who eats shoots and leaves only? There's no only there, but we can understand it's the vegetarian. So a vegetarian would eat a vegetarian would eat, or a vegetarian eats shoots and leaves. So it's not someone who only someone who's vegetarian eats shoots and leaves, but it's actually with a comma. You say eats shoots and leaves. It's the act. Okay, you eat and you shoot and you leave. So 3 different acts. So what is important here, if you can find, recently I find, and it's a spelling mistake. There are many spelling mistakes, many grammatical errors that people do all over the world, in industry, that cost millions of dollars. Sometimes, you know why? Because you have to change the signage. If it will be an image, a reputation of the company, or the reputation of the university, or reputation of an institution with some grammatical errors on the signage, or you cause some trouble to your company when you write something you didn't mean because there is no comma there, or there's a change in meaning to what you have written because of a grammatical mistake. So now today we are going to talk about 4 questions. Let me check. Sorry. How do I do that? Just a second, yeah. Here, sorry. Next one. This is what UPMKB claims that I'm going to do it. I will do my best to achieve the goals of the sessions. I'm not saying that I will be able to achieve this, but I'll do my best. This is to talk about relevant grammatical errors. One that I did not consider as grammatical errors is part of a writing is the use of cliche. If you would understand what a cliche is, then it will be good, but I will explain what a cliche is. This is what I always tell my students in the US, in America, for example, my students in my writing class, do not use cliche. This happens all the time. So if anyone knows what cliche is here, you can write here so I can, the chat here before I give you the answer. What a cliche is. That is not quite in the grammatical points, but I'm just giving you a bonus in terms of writing. Any questions so far? You can see that there are common errors. I find many common errors in my own students' work and many other writings that I can see. In even lecturers or students, I mean academics, not that they don't know, maybe because they're not detailing. So it's a bit what we call it is not in terms of subject verb. Actually, when it becomes the subject is a sentence, in a sentence, then you forgot where your verb is, and then you lost track of where or what the sentence is about. So it can be sometimes the subject is plural, then you put it singular. Sometimes it's singular, it becomes plural, the verb. So it's a bit tricky there. Yeah, this happens a lot in people's writing. I will give you an example, later on. The idea is just to share with you some examples, and I give you source. There's websites here, websites that you can refer to. But the one that I like, there are many actually. One by Purdue University, I will give you at the end. Purdue University has even exercises that you can work on. I have to tell you, in the 1980s, there's this program that students can do grammar exercise on this machine when I was a student. You just sit there and you just do as many as you want. You know, it's just like an exercise to the brain. You know what grammar is about? It is to exercise you in terms of the language use, not just to know about the meaning of the points. For example, you know what a verb is, the function of a verb, or you know what a noun is and the form of noun, for example. I hope I'm not putting you to sleep now. Okay. If you have any question, just ask me in the chat. Okay. Don't ask me difficult questions because we are going through very simple information or points that you may know. Contextualized explanation, that is in it's almost like contextualized explanation and exercise you. If you can do it, I give you a star. I hope I can find a star there. I will say 5-star for you. Okay. So this is what I'm saying. I could have done a quiz, like a gamification thing, but I'm just learning how to do it. Maybe next time I can do it. So to test you, how many of you get how many grammatical points correct? Okay. Okay. I will also talk about logic because logic is to do with grammar as well. It's called grammar logic because you will not be logical if your grammar is all wrong. Okay. Okay, now next one. So these are 4 questions that I will go through with you, and I'm sure that many of you knew this. Fakhzan, how many people are in here now? Just wondering.
64.
Okay, good. We will stop at 100.
Yeah.
Don't let
Okay.
people, don't let people in at 100.
Sure.
And, just kidding. Why is grammar important? If anyone can help me, there are many reasons why grammar is important. What is grammar? Well, we use the word grammar. We must know what grammar is. What is grammar logic? Well, that is also a question for us. And sentence structure, of course. I will just show you the examples, contextualized example of sentence structure used in academic writing by students and by as well. I got this from different sources. Okay. All right. These are the 4 questions that we will deal in this session, and we will start with the grammar. Why is grammar important? And I'm sure many of you already
Assalamualaikum.
Yes. My honey say grammar is important because it's the
official personal one ina.
Fakhzan, can you control the audio? I would like to remind all those who just came in to switch off your audio, yeah, so that the noise will not disturb the session. Okay. All right. Grammar is important because according to Muhammad Hamir, it gives the real face of sentence. Okay, that is an interesting point that you're making. But I still would like you to tell me what is the real face of a sentence. Yeah, what is it that the real face of a sentence? That is a good question. So I'm not quite sure that. To clear understanding of ideas, yes. We need it. We need grammar as a tool, right? We need grammar as a tool. It's almost like you want to build a house. This is my own metaphor. Yeah, you want to build a house, you have to have a tool. You want to build an essay, you got to have a tool. You must get the right tools. So you have to know what tools you are using. What tools are you using? If you are not sure of the tools, oh, okay, should I have a preposition here, of or in or to? Or should I have that or which? Or what is that? You're not sure. So in order to build an essay, a paragraph, a sentence, you must know the aspects, the parts of the sentence. Yes, that's the real phase, is to understand. Yeah, of course, when you write, you have a thought, an idea. So in one paragraph, you have one idea. So in order to talk about one idea, you have to know how to structure it, how to construct it. So why is grammar important? Let's answer the question. Yeah, the study of grammar is closely connected to an understanding of logic. Again, to be logical. Yeah, this is what I'm making this is my point. So if we, I think you can find in so many readings, yeah, but this is what I am stressing. In other words, if your writing is ungrammatical, it will be difficult to follow the logic of the argument. I always ask my student, what are you trying to say? I don't understand. Yeah, what are you trying to say? I don't understand. Because why I don't understand? This is, I read somewhere, I couldn't find it. I wish I could find this information. That it says that when one person has one grammatical error in his or her writing, or in their writing now, they say that the reader's brain stopped there, because you are trying brain in thinking. Oh, you stop thinking, not the writer, the reader. When because it's a natural thing, when you know of a grammar point, you say you can't understand it because there is a break in meaning, because there's an error there. Yeah. Yes, rules. That's right, rules. Yeah. So why is grammar important? Because it gives you the tool. Yeah, the tools. The tool is, the tool, like you want to hammer something, right? So you use grammar to do that. If you don't have grammar, you can't do that effectively. You can't do it effectively. You will be lost in terms of what kind of house I want to build, because I don't have the right tool, because you do not know. So you have to know the rules. Okay. Yeah, it is important because you need to construct, yeah, a picture of the idea that you are trying to convey. Okay. Sorry, I keep on. Okay. Well, I'm just going to share with you some of the why. For example, some reference to what I'm saying is that good reference to, like, National Council of Teachers of English in the United States, to say that these are some of the reports given, yeah, just on grammar, why grammar is important. It says that grammar is important because possible for us to talk about language. It's the language. Grammar, it says the language itself. Grammar equals to language. According to NCTE, grammar is language. If people say that grammar is not important, I beg to differ. Well, if you can defend yourself that grammar is not important in your speech, in your writing, that's fine. But I still stand by the fact, even the NCTE, the National Council of Teachers of English, says that it is the language that make it possible for us to talk about language. If not, how do you talk about language? Okay, grammar names types of words group, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, sentence not only in English, but in any other language. So every language has grammar. That is what they're saying. Grammar is important. For Chinese, they have grammar for Chinese. They have grammar for Arabic. They have grammar for Malay. They have grammar for, what other language here? For Turkey. a Turkish language. I don't know what Turkish language is. So these rules or grammar, we call it grammar, it's important for us to understand how we recognize words. What is the function of these words? Okay. Okay. Human being, we can put sentences together. You know, it's easy. We call it, when you put sentence together, that is what we call doing grammar. When you put a sentence together, say, I am going to attend your session today. That is a sentence. There's a subject, I, going to, that's a tense, will be, if before that, session, the noun, is the object, you say. Okay, so that's a sentence. You know what is the object and the subject, for example, you can explain. Okay, that is grammar already. If I say, I go there, I go there, I go there, you say. Someone say to you, I go there, and then you say, what? Go there, where? You say, I go. Then you will ask, I go where? So there is no object, I go. I go means I can die. I go, I will go now. Or I leave this place. You know, that is the ambiguity. So there is no just I go, even though I go, I is the subject, go. But you lack of the object there. Then that's not a sentence. I go. Yeah, it's a phrase. I go. It can be a poetic line. I go. Farewell. I go. You say. Okay. As human being, about to talk about how sentences are built. I talk about constructing just now. So types of words we have to understand. Okay. So grammar is the window. So how do I do that? Into the human mind and into amazingly complex mental capacity. Your mind, my mind, human mind is very complicated. This is the reason why we have a complicated world. Yeah. So the language reflects the complicated aspect of the world. So if you are able to simplify this world through your language, you are a good user. But if you are able to simplify, not simplify, in other words, not to resolve, but to explain it well, the complexity of the condition or the context, that you are a good language user, because you're able to address the complicatedness of the complexity. Sorry, that's the wrong word. The complexity of this world in the way that people can understand you. Then this is you are a good user. Okay, so remember that language helps us to address the complexity of this world, or the mental capacity. Our mind is very complex. Yeah, so that is what it is. Okay, why it's important. Well, when we talk about grammar, we always talk about errors and correctness. Today, I will tell you it's important to use appropriate. The word correctness is also important, but when you say grammar in terms of appropriateness of the word you use, appropriateness. Some words are not appropriate. Not that it's not correct, but it's not quite right, not appropriate. But about grammar helps understand what makes sentences and paragraph clear. So you know, sentences make paragraph. Okay, paragraph makes an idea. And connected paragraphs make the whole essay. You know, that consists of one major idea. Okay, you can have sub ideas, many ideas, but you have one umbrella to address all the sub ideas that are connected to one major theme that you are trying to talk about in your essay. For example, in COVID-19, what about COVID-19? What is your major idea about COVID-19? What is your perspective? So you have a perspective. Your perspective consists of many aspects from the different points that you want to put together and to bring one umbrella of perspective. Okay, so grammar is about sentence at the construction level. One foundational is a foundational level. So this is the book. If you are interested, you can get the later. One you need to understand is the reasoning. Okay, it says that why study grammar? Because of knowledge of sentence structure that aid the interpretation of literature. So we say, when you say interpretation of literature is text, yeah. Because continual dealing with sentences influences the student to form better sentences. When you deal more complex sentences, you become better at it. In other words, when you read, you are dealing with, you ask, is this sentence correct? Or how do I put together this very complex idea I have? Sometimes you want to put everything in one sentence. That is not possible. So many things you want to put in one basket. In one sentence, you want to put so many ideas. That becomes a problem. You cannot have too many things in one sentence. Fakhzan, how am I doing with time?
So far, good. Yes, good.
Okay, all right. I will stop here, ask you question. You have any question? This is just about why grammar is important. Yeah, but I will go to next. I know you are waiting for the business here about what is it? Okay, I said this already, structural foundation, emphasis is mine, structural foundation of ability to express ourselves. These are some of why it's important. It's called the structural foundation of our ability to express. That's from David Crystal, a very famous linguist. David Crystal, if Dr. Yong should know David Crystal. The more we are aware of how it works, grammar, how sentence work, the better you are in writing your ideas, in making sense of your idea, in forming your ideas, in shaping your ideas. Yeah, the better you know. I know of, I had Chinese friends when I was an MA student. They were from China. Correct me if the Chinese students of mine who are from China. They are very good with grammar rules. They're good with grammar rules. I don't know about now. I don't know about the program now. This was in the 80s. What they do, they memorize all these grammar rules. Memorize. So they are good in writing. They have what we call ability, the skills to write, because they know the rules. So if you ask them, what is this sentence? A friend of mine from China, he was a teaching assistant. But of course, he has a bit, everyone has a slang or a dialect when they speak, right? A slang when you speak. But he's very good with language when writing it, and he knows the rules. And I'm amazed at his ability to explain to me, and explain why it's wrong. Okay. And I know of a Japanese student who can't even speak well, but can explain the rules and write beautifully. So I don't know. Maybe sometimes people are afraid when speaking, but usually when you are good, you're good in your writing, which to me it's a plus. When you are able to communicate your ideas in writing, this is a very important skill. Yeah. But we have a bit of trouble in speaking. That's fine, but still, we go with this idea that we do as little possible, because when we speak, we also need some grammar. If not, people won't understand. Like I say, I go school, you see. I go school. I go school. Yes, you don't have the to there. Yeah, that to school. I go to school. You just say I go school. It's like a child speaking because they don't know exactly the rules of the sentence. Yeah. Okay. Now, to me, these are some of the most interesting point. Why correct grammar and correct writing? I use the word correct grammar, yeah, not appropriate grammar. Words we can use appropriate words, yeah, but grammar must be correct, okay, and correct writing. This is what the poster was saying. Do what is right, not do what is easy. I think that is funny to me. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's difficult. It's difficult, yeah. It reflects our credibility, your believability. I think this point that some people say that I've collected in listening to what people say, that your believability, if you are good with language, when you speak grammatically correct sentences, people tend to believe you better. This is what some of the Western scholars say, that I have, it's not some philosopher, but this is what generally people say, your believability. You are, when you watch television, for example, the interpreter, you find an interpreter that can speak well, right? That grammatically, she has some a bit knowledge of how to use the language well, so you can trust her that she is translating it well. Yeah, so she's believable, or he is believable. Your image, people trust you. It's just building your image with good grammar. It's like university too. Would you want to go to a university that writes about itself? Well, somebody wrote for them, and there's so many grammatical errors, so it's just so difficult to understand them, what they have written. So you probably say, oh, they can't even tell us what they are for, their philosophy. So how can we go to this kind of school? So that's the image. It's the same thing when you are a student. If you want a good professor to supervise you, so perhaps you want to impress him or her with your ability to use the language. So you have to know the language. You have to use the right. Some people. This happens to me all the time. When I listen to students, I tend to say that if you are a good student or not a good student. But sometimes I must say that I'm wrong. Good student, what does it mean by good student? So, and then I say, can you write maybe the person cannot speak well. Can you write what you have on your mind, or what is your idea? Then the person will send to me. Then I see that he's able to tell me what he wants to work on. Then I say, oh, so I have misjudged him. But normally, when you speak ungrammatical, you will write ungrammatically. Yeah, that's what it is. It always corresponds. Ungrammaticalness in speaking and ungrammaticalness in writing, because the cognitive and speech, they are connected. But sometimes, like I say, we can be wrong. A certain percentage of that. Correct grammar means respect for your audience. So when you write correctly, you are respecting your audience. If anyone here know Fazila Amin, for my international student, they might not know. Those of our Malaysian friends here, audience here, I have. Do you know Fazila Amin? Can you hear that? Fazila Amin. Amin's sister. Okay. She was what do you call that? She answered questions on grammar in the Star. No, she's no longer in. She was a columnist with the Star For example, in a session, a Putra Sarjana session like this, I invited her. This was in UPM. I invited her, and she reminded the audience that the word kindly should not be used in correspondence just like that. You know, like kindly, what people always say, kindly, please respond to this questionnaire. For her, the use of kindly there is incorrect. Many Malaysians do this in their correspondence. Kindly help me. Kindly write your answers in the book. Oh, that is okay. Sorry. You say in correspondence, you say kindly please do the survey. It's actually why I say I try to attract you to this use of kindly. Kindly, yes, Karachin. Kindly find ever kindly. Kindly is when you are angry. Kindly is used when you are angry. You are annoyed or you want to remind. For example, you say, kindly please keep all your toys, please put away your toys in the box after you play with it. Okay? So don't simply use kindly. This is not my use, but this is reminded by a columnist like Fazila Amin, a star columnist who answers you. If you want to ask a grammar question, she can answer you any question. So I remember her telling the audience, the students, don't use kindly, but I keep on seeing people using kindly and I get annoyed. You know, in university writing, say kindly here, kindly there, kindly. Are they angry? I say, why you say kindly? Just say, please find the attachment. Okay? How about a kind reminder? A kind reminder is, it's okay. How about a kind reminder? How do you, it depends on how you use it. But the word kindly there, yeah? Kindly when you ask people to do something. Kindly, please, if you say kindly, please listen. You are not saying that you are trying to be kind. You know, kindly does not mean you are kind. Kindly is not being kind. Kindly, you are trying to tell people that please do that because the last time you didn't do it. Now I want you to do. Okay? That is kindly. Kindly, please listen to me. Sorry. Okay. I hope that is a good reminder for all of us. Yeah, for all of us. Okay. Now, yeah, kindly adjective description versus kindly mannerism. What is kindly description? Kindly, the person do kindly. Kind reminder, you say kindly. There's no such thing as kindly reminder. But the common use is kindly. Yeah, people always like to use kindly. Even banks, maybe they are annoyed with you. If they are annoyed with you, they use kindly, please pay your monthly payments. Maybe that is okay because you have not done that. Yeah. Yes, gentle reminder. Always, that's the word, gentle reminder. These people use the word gentle because they're trying to be gentle, I think. It's a reminder. It's a reminder to me. Okay, but it's okay. These are commonly accepted. Gentle reminder. Maybe some people use kind. I have not heard, but maybe you can use it. But I can explain this later. Okay, let's move on. Yeah. Okay, what is grammar? Like I said just now, these are parts of speech. Just now, we call it just now speech. Yeah, it's speech is part of your cognitive speech. If you say blah 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 blah, ra 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 ra, is that a sentence? Is that a speech? For a kid, maybe it's a speech. Sound. If for those people doing phonology, maybe there are meanings to those sounds. Maybe you say if you don't know Malay, for example, Aki, for example, from China, doesn't know Malay. You say, saya sudah makan, saya sudah makan makanan itu. Saya sudah makan makanan itu. Then Aki say, what is that? Akakakakakaka. That sounds like akakakakaka. But that is a speech. So in that language, saya is the subject. Yeah, sudah, I have, it's done. It's done. Saya sudah makan makanan itu. Something like that. But it's not a very good sentence. Saya telah makan. It means I have eaten. Okay. But to Aki said, akakaka. Because she doesn't understand the word is connected to form the speech. So in English, the words, sentences, paragraphs, nouns, verbs, and punctuation. Okay? Okay, words, sentences, paragraph, nouns, verb, punctuations. These are parts of the words, you know, like words like rain, a word, rain, yesterday, tomorrow, go. My word is this one, bro, haha. I always like to use the word bro, haha. Then my friend will laugh at me, say, what bro, haha, I say. Bro, haha? My friend says, heard of the bro, haha. There's a word for it, there's a meaning for that, bro, haha. You know, when it comes to words, you know, I think many of us misplace the words we use. There's there is a word that sometimes you can use in that particular context, sometimes you can't use. You know, people like to use the word paradigm, for example, paradigm. You know, they like to use bombastic word in their sentences. They change certain a noun or verb sometimes. Verb is even worse. Verbs there. Yeah. So I get very confused sometimes, you know, and I say, why can't you use simple ones? Yeah. Okay. What is important? Is it the word or the idea? Okay. Words, sentences, paragraphs, nouns, verb, punctuation. These are part of speech. Okay. All right. I have to go very fast now. A lot to go. Okay. The word grammar, if you don't know, just for fun, graphine, it means to write. In Greek word, it's a Greek word. It means graphine. There is actually the Greek word. I should actually copy it. Yeah. Graphine, but this is the English spelling. Yeah. There is the Greek spelling. You can find it. Anyway, yeah, on the internet. Graphine means to draw or to write. To write. Write. Graph, the word. Graphine. Yeah. Sometimes you know the word graffiti, right? Graffiti. Draw. Yeah. Probably comes from that too. Yeah. To write or draw. Graffiti. You know, on the wall. Okay, for those linguists, I don't want to belabor on this. Yeah, descriptive and prescriptive. What I am sharing with you, I hope it's not considered as prescriptive. Yeah, I'm just sharing with you some of the things that people use, and I'm trying to explain to you. Yeah, so descriptive is just I'm doing both actually. Descriptive, explaining to you, and also telling you that certain rules must be followed. Yeah, that's all. Okay, you can okay. Oh, what's that? Oh, sorry. I go to this one. I made a mistake. Oh, okay, sorry. I don't know where. Hilang lah Fakhzan. Oh no.
Yes. Okay, dah.
Tak ada
Yeah.
satu dah terbalik-balik lah. Sekejap just a second. Sorry. It's okay, there's a story. I wanted to give you a story. This is the first applicant. There is money to be given, okay? It's like a scholarship, okay? A scholarship to be given. The first applicant write this, okay? This is the bonus I'm talking to you. I have not given to you the meaning of the. I will go back to the grammar logic. Okay, this is about some of the things that we say in our daily lives or in writing. Even in your essay, you use certain things. The applicant writes on personal, usually this is the American standard. If you want, they will ask you for personal statement. So this first applicant write his first statement or her first statement. I'm people person. I'm a people person. You can hear many people using that. I'm a people person. She is a people person. My boss is a people person. My vice chancellor is a people person. The prime minister is people person. What people person? So many people person. Yeah. So, so I am certain to get along well with new people in the strange country because I am people person. This person say. I know how to adapt because I'm a jack of all trades. Wow. So using this jack of all trades because I can adapt. I can do a lot of things. That's what he thinks. Then he says, I am also prepared to deal with adversity and learn from challenges because I know that every cloud has a silver lining. Many people like to use this. Every cloud has a silver lining. If you were to write, if you are speaking, maybe it's okay. But if you are writing and consisting of all things, you know, you include all these things, it might be troublesome. Okay. Second person writes, I will be able to immerse myself in another country because I have experience as an ESL tutor, interacting with people, growing up in a military family, and then as numerous failed experiments for my chemistry senior project show, challenges are profitable in the long run. I finally made a contribution to my field after 200 experiments. This person, the second applicant, just tell her or his experience without using phrases such as people person and some other expression that many people have used. So who gets the money? This is easy. I already you know, it's not the first person but the second person. Okay, the second person gets the money. Okay, why is that? Okay, it's all jumbled up. Maybe I was moving just now, my slides. Both applicants made the same basic arguments about themselves, but the second deal with more specificity, experience, yeah, telling exactly some of the things why, for example, what kind of a person. That means you are a determined person that you learn from 200 experiments. Yeah. Instead of you telling people that I am people person. This is the thing about you telling people you are beautiful. You are beautiful, you say. Your statement is interesting. That's vague actually. Yeah. You give an interesting comment, you say. That means I'm not sure what to say. The first applicant relies on cliche. This is what we call cliche. Yeah. Okay. Avoid cliche when writing. This is a bonus. It's not grammatical. Avoid cliche when writing. Why is that? Because cliche didn't tell you anything.
Cliche is what?
That's a good question. Very good question. I thought you don't want to know. Is that Aisha? Okay. This is what we call trite. Yeah. It's overuse. So many people use it in writing. When I was my supervisor in writing and composition, the person who actually observed me when I'm teaching as a writing instructor in the United States, we have a session on cliche. Cliches are expressions that either have a general meaning or have lost their meaning over time. In other words, it's trite, yeah, it's overuse. Yeah. It's overused. Like what other I will give you in some of the writings, yeah. What are cliches in writing, okay? Cloud over several and all those things, you know, those are in speeches, right? Usually people don't use it. If you use it, that means you don't know the rules of writing. Okay, let me go back to see, I am all okay. This is what it is. Okay. Okay. Make sure that you don't start or end your papers with cliche. In modern society, in this day and age, these are cliches. In the current climate, from dawn of man, in modern society, and other that people always use, you look at them, you say, it's overused. You don't want to repeat. You don't want to use these cliches. They become cliches. Yeah, a cliche in a modern society are supposed to be challenging, you see. So you can't use this in your conclusions or your introduction. It's very boring and it doesn't mean a thing because it's overused. It's a bonus, yeah, it's not a grammatical point. So you can look at cliches. There's a lot on the internet. I'm just reminding you because this is what I always remind my students when people write or when they write. Don't use cliche, yeah? Try. Whatever that people always use becomes cliche now. For example, the IR4. IR4 now becomes a cliche. Yeah. What industrial IR, what is that? Industrial Revolution 4. People always throw in these words. When people are throwing words unnecessarily, just putting in, and so many are doing it. So it becomes cliche. Unless you have a point to describe. From the dawn of yeah. Yes, there is a cliche. But in speeches, maybe you can say it because it's what people are used to. But in writing, we are talking about writing, yeah? So avoid cliche. Like colloquialism, you can use it in speech, but not in writing. Yeah, colloquialism. And I will circle that is a colloquialism. If you want to know, colloquialism is later. Okay. All right. Now, I'm sorry. Just go very fast. There's study of grammar enables to study pattern and avoid over terms of known as cliche. Okay. So overuse, yeah, overuse terms. Overuse terms. You know very well what they are. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm done with this cliche thing. Okay, just a second. I say, who gets logic. Well, like I say, you can find this on the internet as well. But here, this is what I feel. Logic. Sometimes, I will show to you in the examples of writing by the one that I collected. Okay. We don't have much time. Logic lies in sentence structure, appropriate word choice. Wrong word choice, what do you mean? I gave you the example. Subject verb agreement. Subject verb agreement. When you got confused with your subject and your verb and where the verb whether it's plural or singular, because there's an example of that, yeah. Later on, and then relationship between subject and predicate, and tenses also, and verbs, punctuation, definitely, and preposition, articles, and many aspects of just now, and I say the parts of speech. But these are some of the examples. Okay, here is the errors in academic writing part 2. Okay, we have about 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Okay. Now, I will give you an example. You will read it. I give you about 1 minute. Oh, there is no What is wrong with this example? Anyone can just try. This is what you are used to writing. And I get this from, this is already a published thing. This is a published piece that I can find in a library. Yeah, in a library. Okay. This one I didn't mark the red aspect of it. Okay. I want you to read, and then tell me if you can write the chat. Do you understand first? Can you understand? Okay. All right. Too many the students. Okay. All right. The students. When you look at it, you look from the grammatical point of view. So the use of okay, you said the noun there. Whether the article. I should have showed to you maybe what is the sentence is. Some words are not academic, fun and interesting. In the fun and interesting activities. Very good. Yeah. Flowery. Repetitions. Very good. I see there is no clear logic in this paragraph. What do you see in the logic? What do you mean? Also. Also. Okay, you look at the preposition. Yes. Aisha say also and in all. Okay. Center topic. You see, by not, I didn't even tell you that this example, I'm sure, when you read your own writing, when I write, for example, when I did my thesis, my first chapter, I wrote 10 times the draft. 10 times the draft. Can you imagine 10 times? So it was nominated the best. So in other words, you can find these mistakes, right? Okay, but let me see what I think it is. Yeah, many of you, like, I think I can say the repetition is repetition could actually cause trouble into interfere with the meaning. Yeah, but the use of preposition, no, not preposition, the use of conjunction. Do you know the aspect conjunction? Yeah, linking words. Yeah, conjunction. I think Aisha from UITM, you said it. You did that. Okay, I'll give my opinion. Yeah, you can disagree with me. The thought is not complete. Maybe I've taken it out. Okay. All right. The purpose of linking words, which is supposed to connect each sentence, yeah, such as also, besides, and in all, yeah, supposed to connect each sentence with the next logical, with the next logically is lost, because the use of also, then besides. Can you see that? And also, the use in all. In all. There is no such thing as in all. You see, this is the reason why you have to know. That's not what that was. All in all, which are informal expression. No, this is my, sorry, this is my sentence. It says that in all, if you go back, yeah, let's go back here. You see what it says there. In all, maybe you're right. Maybe the person say all in all. In writing, yeah, yes. In all, the student's perspective on the use in all. You can say in general, all in all. Many people use that all in all, the student's perspective, but it's rather in summation, all in all. Overall is also almost colloquial, yeah. So when using academic writing, you can say in general or all in all is also overall. But I think all in all, overall is a bit too colloquial to me. Yeah. And you can see besides, what is my discussion just now? The author shows the distinct lack of grammarist language accuracy by use of phrases such as besides. You cannot use besides. There's no such thing as besides. Besides, so what happens is that the colloquialism of a speech in the speech has influenced the author, yeah, in the writing. You can say overall, maybe, yeah. But I would find more like you say the summary of it in a better expression here. Okay, now we are running out of time. I am just going to the next one. Okay, let's find. This is a short one. The process in addition. If you say in addition, yes, that's to the one. Yes, you can use in addition, of course. That is a conjunction, right? To add to the idea. So in order for you to add to what you have stated earlier and to enhance it, you put in addition. Moreover, for example, and all those things, yeah. There are many other conjunctions that you can use. Not besides, Besides, I'm very busy, you say. Maybe you can say that in a speech. Okay. Now, example 2. The process of encouraging of learning needs support from an education environment. Too many off. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? I wait for another one. Redundancy of subject. Okay. That's very tricky, Daisy. Yeah. Oh, nominalization. Wow, this one I need to learn from you, Aisha. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. All right. I give my opinion on this. Yeah. If you agree, you disagree, you can. I think you all give very good. What do you call that? You give explanation, or you try to connect to some parts of the. Okay. Carol Chin, you're right. Okay. The preposition of is used twice. Okay. The problem lies in the subject of the sentence. Who said that just now? Daisy. Yes, Daisy. You're right. Yes, I have clever audience here, and Aisha too. Oh, so many of you. I don't have to talk to you anymore. Maybe I will end by my second example. Just with my second example. Yeah, it's very easy for you. The preposition of and the subject of the sentence lie. The problem lies in the subject of the sentence. That is the starting point of the problem. This is why I say the subject verb agreement thing. Yeah, or the subject and the predicate. The preposition of is used twice, creating an odd noun phrase. A noun phrase, yeah? You familiar with noun phrase? The use of the word process also seems to be inappropriate here, the word process. Okay, the sentence could be changed to one of the following. Which do you think is closest to what the writer is trying to say? Why? I want you to think about it. The learning process needs support from an encouraging educational environment. Or to encourage learning, support for educational environment is needed. Which one do you think that the person wants to deliver? You see? That's the point. What's the subject? The learning process needs support from an encouraging educational environment, or is it about to encourage learning? Support from educational environment is needed. So here, you have to decide. The author must decide which is it, the idea that he or she wants to deliver. Right? Okay. So this is the kind of thing, sometimes it becomes ambiguous. Yeah, because the subject is the problem here. What is it that you want? Is it the learning? Is it to encourage learning or to the learning itself? Okay. Well, it depends on the author. What is the intended idea? Okay, what is the intended idea? Which do you think is closest to what the writer is trying to say? Okay. Look at that. Okay, example 3. The main aim, this is very interesting example. It's all what students wrote, yeah? Authors. I don't know who they are. Could be academic or students. The main aim of this paper is to determine students' acceptance. Anyone quickly? Of active learning, relationship between role-playing and students' motivation, and to identify the most challenging chapter in EM course. Just now we talk about subject, yeah? The subject must be clear. Okay, aims. You want to change it to aims, right? Yeah, because why, Aisha? Why do you want to change to aims? The person said the main aim of this paper is to. Yes.
Dr. Norita, maybe it's just that I feel like there's two ideas or main ideas there. So maybe like the aims of this paper to determine one and then to identify is the other one. So it's actually two main clauses there. And so there might be two. I don't know.
Yeah, this has to do about logic also. Yeah, because I understand where you're coming from, Aisha. Yes, the clauses, you see, the sentences, the too many. Yeah, you see, because you see aims, right? It's not, you change. You see, if you see the main aims, can you say the main aims of this paper are to do this? Then the purpose of this paper. Okay, the idea for us to explain here, you are right. Okay, you want to change it to aims. Okay, now this is my explanation. Okay, if you can accept that. Okay, because I'm trying to, logically there should be only one main aim. Cannot be so many aims. If you say the paper is to do that, but you are right, then you have to change it to aims. So if you write a paper, a big paper, yeah, it's not, when you see main aim, yeah, then it should be this. It cannot be then. It very what do you call it? Quickly you can tell that what is there's already a mistake in the beginning. The main aim is so many things, right? Like you have pointed out, yeah, so many that you are using, yeah. Then you want to say the aims, the main aims, you see, the main aims. But when you say main aim, then you have only one. So instead, the sentence lists several objectives. Then that's why it has to be aims, like you say. There is problem of subject and verb agreement there. Okay, the second objective also, you can see, hang on, where is it? The second objective is missing the verb, therefore making the sentence incomplete. Okay. Oh, sorry, that's example 4. Okay, where is it? There. There. The main aim of this paper is to determine students' acceptance, active learning relationship between what? Whose relationship? Whose relationship? Yeah. There's something missing there. What relationship? Okay. So the subject, the problem of subject and verb agreement. Yeah. In that sentence. Okay. The second objective is also missing a verb, therefore making a sentence incomplete. If there are many aims or objective, Yes, that's right, mean. That's why you can't have those things. You must just put one aim. Or not, you can see that the focus of the paper, the focus of paper is to explain. I don't know. Maybe you can't say main aim. Yeah, main aim. All right. So be careful with the word that you use. Main aim, such as that. Unless you say there are several aims, objectives of this paper. There are 3 aims. What relationship? What's the subject? Okay. So there is parallelism also. This one, it's not, it's a bit advanced in terms of to determine, to examine. You see that's parallelism. That is also could possibly be a way to correct the sentence, yeah, to make it into a parallel structure, to determine, to examine, to just now, for example. But the relationship with who? The relationship, what's the subject? You have to know the subject. Okay, all right. Okay, that's example 4. Okay, example 4, quickly. Example 4. I have only 2 more to go. Okay, example 4. The Pearson correlation of 2 variables is used to analyze 80 respondents' questionnaire. It comprises 2 groups of 3rd semester students. The second one is the most challenging chapter was related to numerical method. It shows that while the facilitator or instructors need to apply active learning strategies to support the effectiveness of teaching and learning. So, what is wrong with these 2 ideas? I think. Okay, each subject is not defined. Okay. Anyone? Any else? Okay. All right. Let's see the answer. The use of the pronoun it. This happens a lot in students' writing. It. So many people like to use it. You know, when the subject is too far, or you have 2 nouns or a few nouns before your in your previous sentence, in your what do you call it, in your preceding, is it? In your previous sentence, sorry. You will lose the reference, the pronoun reference, we call it, it. You will lose it. So you must be, you must identify your pronouns. Yeah, it can be confusing here. In the example, it's not clear what the it is in the second sentence referred to the Pearson correlation, the 2 variables that I see when you have too many subjects there. So you have to be careful with that. Yeah. So a lot of people like to use it, and they assume. Sorry, the author or the writers like to assume. Yeah. I think this is in many students writing, and also in Malaysia or in Asia, but in Western, in other academic, I think Americans are, unless you're not familiar with the grammar point, it must refer to one subject, and you should not be and you should not be what do you call that, be using it when you have too many nouns before that, because we do not know what you're referring to. For example, just now you see, is it the questionnaire, the 2 variables, the Pearson correlation of 2 variables, it comprises 2 groups. What? It's not identified, you see. Okay. So the it there is, don't know what it's referring to. Oh, sorry. Yeah. The person correction, the two variables, what? The AT respondent. There's so many reference to that. Okay. So when you want to use it, you have only one subject that you are sure of it. And also when you use it, don't use it when you have like 4 sentences earlier. Because your it reference, the it pronoun reference will be too far off to be referred to. Then we forgot what it, and then we have to read again. Where's the it? I just eat the grandmother. Yeah, if you have like too many sentences, and then suddenly you say it, then I say, even though you are referring maybe in one subject, but I still will lose you. Yeah. Okay. Now, yeah, you have to explain. The study comprises, yeah, you're right, Cliche. Okay. And the second one, again, is unclear what is referring to. Challenging chapter, numerical method. So, like you have so many nouns that I would say, what is your it there? Your it is referring to what? Okay. So the it use, you have to be very careful. I never like to use eat, but I like to eat. I try to be careful with eat, and I try to be careful with eating. Okay. Now, example 5. Last one. Not last. Second last. Sorry. What is this? It becomes more complicated now. However, due to the physical chemical properties of timber, the application of AEs, industry especially, and the process of manufacturing, encounter with difficulties and obstacles, and they are causes of decreasing the speed and increasing the cost of production in AE. Encounters. What's wrong with encounters? Zuli, what is wrong with encounters? Too many phrases? Are they complete sentence? Run on sentences. Wow, that's very American. Yes. Okay. Good. Okay. You use terms, correct grammatical, labelings, you say run on sentence, like, I remember last night I was talking about dangling modifier to a friend. Said, what is dangling modifier? I've never heard of that. I think that's very American. Okay. We'll talk about that later. Okay. It looks like still consciousness. Okay. Yes. Karachi says still consciousness. Whatever that the writer wants to write. Yeah. It's almost like you don't know what it is. Okay. Let's see. The sentence is too long. The sentence is too long. Yes, Junhua, you just stayed very good. The sentence is too long. I don't know what it is. And then the pronoun it again. Yeah. Again, like I say, common mistake is the pronoun reference that we use. Yeah. It especially. In the subject, the application of it is awkward. Application of it. Application of what? Yeah. The phrase would read better and is more concise, is simply constructed as its application. Yeah, go with its application instead of the application of it. That's awkward, you see. It's I don't know whether it's it sounded grammatical, but it's awkward. Awkward. Yeah. The sentence then loses track of the singular subject. Yeah. You see, just now I should have used the plural verb encounter instead of encounters. Yeah. Someone actually, one of you, Zuli, just highlighted the use of encounter, right? It says that. Sorry. Here. The process of mention encounter with some difficulty. Yeah. What is that? Encounter. Yeah, encounters. You're right. Correct. So instead of encounter, the sentence then goes on to use the plural subject they, which confuses the sentence further. What does they refer to in the sentence? So there's many pronoun references used which are unclear. Yeah, it's unclear pronoun reference. Yeah, and subject. Again, we have this problem of subject agreement. Is it plural, singular? Encounter. What is the subject? You have to identify the subject, and of course, like many of you say that it's a long sentence. That's why it's very convoluted. We say it's convoluted sentence. So when a long sentence, you have the tendency to make mistakes. You know, if you're not careful with the subject. Where is your subject now? You lose track of your subject. Okay, and your pronoun reference. Okay. All right. Very interesting. Okay, there's another one. Last one. Then it's already 4:30. What do you think? There is significant increase in the number of divorce, not divorce. Yeah, for those who are in pronunciation, I heard people use the word divorce. Even Americans do not say divorce. Yeah, you say that advertisement, for example, is okay. Yeah, for American they say advertisement because that's the way they pronounce it. I live in America for 12 years. But I hear students using American English here in Malaysia, or academics, yeah, say the word divorce. No, I'm just trying to. Very good. Ilham, which refers to past year. Okay, this is very important. Example. Many people use this past years. Yeah, past years. Okay. I will have an explanation on that. You see, some of these things you are very familiar. Some of the like past years, people use that. Yeah, people use the word, the phrase past years all the time. You ask past, of course, how many years you say. But yeah, how do you handle this? Okay, all right. Okay, let's just go with the what I have here. Yeah. Okay, there are a few problems in the above example. One, the tense. Okay, tense. Present perfect tense. The use of present perfect tense. There is a significant increase. That is present perfect tense. Instead of simple present tense. There is a significant increase. There has been a significant increase. Okay. Yes, strong signal sometimes mean positive sense. There's a logic also. Yeah, there's a logic. Mr. Gulam. Yeah. I actually ponder on that word, on strong signal, positive. Perhaps, yeah. It could be some confusing aspect of the use of strong signal. I wonder about the use of strong signal too. Yeah, strong signal. Here there has been a significant increase. What does it say just now? Oh, sorry. There is a significant increase. There is a significant increase in the number of divorce. You should use there has been a significant increase. There has been. When you are looking at something, that you must have made the transaction, right? Yeah, there has been. That's the reason why that you use the word okay. That's the word that you use. Missing quantifier in the phrase, like William said just now in the chat. How many years? Usually we said the past few years. You can say past few years. You must have the quantifier. Thank you, Aisha. Yeah, you cannot say past years. William, you said it, I think William, right? Ilham, sorry, is it Ilham? William, yeah, William, thank you. You said how many years? You're right. The quantifier, you must quantify it. You cannot say in the past years. In the past 2 years, you say. In the past few years. In the past 10 years. In the past 20 years. So you must have a quantifier. Okay, that's just an example. There are many other examples actually that yeah, that in order for me to use more examples, and explain that, I need permission from people, the whole entire writing, for example, and making more chunks, for example. Some of those examples I have actually modified a bit so that you will not be able to identify, but it still have, they still contain mistakes, yeah. So some of the points, I think we are supposed to stop some of the tips in error. Keep it simple. For those of you who are writing your thesis or writing your paper, and there's nothing wrong, I always like Hemingway, the author Hemingway. He writes very simply. He's also famous. I mean, he's still he's one of American authors studied. Yeah, keep it simple. In other words, that I always learn. I study with a critical philosopher for my PhD. He always say that if you are able to explain, philosophy in a simple way, it's not to reduce the complexity of a theory, no, but you explain in the way you can, because he always amazed me at enabling me to understand certain theoretical aspects that I find it difficult, and he taught me how to simplify the explanation, not to simplify the aspect of theory, but to, to make it easy. Yeah, it says write short, clear sentences. Not too short, of course. I go to school. I mean, clear sentence, not too long, not convoluted, and then your clause, and you have two clauses, and you have a predicate or subject and predicate, and don't lose sight of your subject, because if you lose sight of your subject, then you lose sight of your verb. Okay, limit your sentence to one idea. One sentence, not too many ideas, please. One sentence, one idea. Okay, that's why we have a para. So, and one sentence then explain the other sentence. It's like a jigsaw puzzle, and then you put them together, and then you will see the picture. Not one sentence, many ideas. No, yeah. If you want to say you don't like this class, you cannot be saying so many things. Yeah, you just don't like it. You cannot say you like and you don't like. Maybe in the next sentence you say why you don't like it. Yeah, yeah. And then it says that avoid writing any more than 20 words. This is the trick. If you can count your words, avoid passive forms. This I don't like. If any of you there are scientists here, and those from the technology, science, and S&T, I know you like to use passive forms. I think you can start trying with active forms. You make a change in the way people understand your work. I have read, some of their books here. I remember when I was studying rhetoric and writing, we read some scientists' work, for example, that tells us I can't remember the name, sorry. If you want to know, I can tell you later. You can email me. In this sentence, try to avoid passive forms. Yeah, you need to use. Okay, all right. Okay, very good. Yes. Don't use passive forms. Scientific writing, result writing. Well, this is the Mr. Gulam say we usually practice passive form. This is the problem also when you cannot change your form. Yeah, you cannot change your form. Why passive form? Because it's the passive forms. Because okay, Aisha. Aisha, you left. Oh, she left already. Okay. The passive form is not. You can see in scientific writing, you are encouraged to write passive form. I do not know. This is an old style. This is an old style of writing, because you say for example, what is this? The form is being submitted. You say the form is being submitted, right? You say the form is being submitted instead of, no, sorry, I submitted the form. Okay, I submitted the form. And for example, the report was written. The report was written by Amy. Instead of Amy wrote the report. This is technically, scientifically, they use the scientific way, because there is sometimes the subject, they're trying to avoid the subject. You know, like the use of I, for example. You know, in this discussion, you see, for example, in this discussion, we use the word, how do you say that? The passive form, for example, the passive form, you need to, you hide yourself. This is what it means. The scientists always, I find it sometimes people use the researcher, you know, the researcher. They refer to the researcher instead of I. But the trend now, you know, yes. Okay. Thank you, Aisha. There, yeah, that will be. We can work on something. Okay. I have to use. Sorry, the question, back to the question. Why avoid passive forms? In many writings, if you check on the internet, they will ask you to avoid passive forms, except in Malaysia. In other Asian countries, I am not sure in America, we try to avoid passive forms. Okay. Yes. Okay. Because double negative sentence, I think passive form can be hard to understand. Yes, I agree, because again, the subject, one of the things that I find strange in the SNT, they use the word the researcher. I always ask, who is the researcher? Who is the researcher? That is the question with passive. That is the question with passive. Sometimes we do not know. Okay, maybe I should have one session on just passive writing. Yes, you asked to write passive form. When was that? How long ago? How long ago? Aisha said you can still write in the matter section. I always ask people to write in active form instead of passive. No, there is no issue with active in I do not know why. It's almost like a scene. The question now is a scene to write in active form for the science and technology people. Now the question goes back to you. Why? Instead of you asking me why active cannot be used in your report. Okay? Yes, Zenji, yeah, you are right. It's clearer, you're right. Yes. Now, for those who say it's a sin, almost many people, and also the use of we, in this study, we, some people use we, some use your I, right? You can use we to refer to yourself. We, people use we. But I would always use I, of course. We, but you have to be consistent. Whatever you use, you have to use we or I in the I. And, very good. That is a good question. I in the thesis. Why? You see, this depends on your supervisor. This, I mean, the use of I. The use of I. Because to the S and T is a sin to use I. You use the researcher. Maybe for those of you who are interested to have a special session on the use of passive form, please, I have an email. You can contact me through my email. Okay, it's Noma, my email. Okay, we can have a special session. Okay, my email is this one. Okay, I can entertain you. Okay, now we are running out of time. Because I can explain to you further with example if it's good or not. Okay, and then you can tell your supervisor. Oh, what's that? Very good question. Does we refers to supervisor and supervisee? Yeah, that is a good question. That's why I saw in a linguistic thesis, the person used we. That is accepted in the UK format. We. She uses the word the pronoun we. So it's accepted. So the issue that you ask, whether it's supervisor and supervisee, maybe the entire experiment refers to we. Yeah. Like the Queen of England always say we, referring to the government. We, the government. This is it's not like I, my government, I, the Queen. The Queen used to we. We. We, I royal plural. Yes, we means the co-author. No, not necessarily. I'm not saying in journal article, yes, we for co-authors, but I'm talking about thesis. Okay, all right, let's move on. Very good question. You all have many questions. You can use my email and email to me, and if I have like 10 people, maybe I can use a session on passive form. Okay, use of simple word order, and you can also show your work if you want, some of the sentence you have. Why is it you can explain? Yeah. I always use I. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Carol. Yeah, there's so many websites, yeah, that you can refer to. SVOMPT, subject, verb, object, manner, place, and time. Okay, all right. Word order makes it easy for you to structure subject, verb, object. How? Place and time. This is what it is. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Ken Highland, if you are interested, yeah, if people are interested in doing that. This is an example of how it works. Using linking words, keep an eye on singular plural. These are most of the common mistakes that people do. I'm just pointing out to you what errors, these are the typical errors. Linking words, just now, like the conjunction just now, there's so many conjunction issues here. However, moreover, you just simply, people just simply use it without, you must learn through the rules here in use linking words, in linking the ideas. Keep an eye on your singular. Yeah, linking words example, namely, those kind of things. What else? And in addition as well, conjunction also to, moreover, furthermore, apart, in addition to, here, besides, not that one, besides. It's besides is not the one that is used there, because that one is also and besides. There's so many of them of the conjunction use. And for example, use and also but not only but, for example. Yeah, there are many. Give an example here. So I think you can find this many in the in the on the internet. Yeah. So I do not know whether I have achieved in relation to some of the points that we want to highlight. I use the word we. See, we referring to myself and you, yeah, because I consider you as part of my presentation. Okay. And I hope that I have managed some of the points in relation to logic, for example. They are actually more complicated, what do you call, issues that we face in terms of sentence structure. What I've given you sometimes, like at that time, for example, when I read, I must now collect some of the pieces that I found complicated in nature in terms of the meaning. I've read so many, but when I wanted to do this, when I wanted to do this, I didn't quite know how to handle because I do not want to highlight people's mistakes. I wanted to highlight university mistakes on website, but I don't want to do it because they might say that I am it worse for the university. Yeah, we can't do that. But if you found, this is the reason why when if you want the slides, but it's nothing much. If you want more on passive, for example, those writing passive sentences, you want to explain to your supervisor that you want to change to active writing, because there are in sciences active writing. I can show you some examples. Yeah, I don't know why in UPM, or I don't know about maybe UM2 or UITM, or in Turkey, or if you are in Pakistan, you are asked to use passive, and it's a sin to use active. That is an issue to me. Please let me know why you can't use active. Can you ask your professors? If they have an explanation, bring them to me, and then we can explain why we want you to write in active sentence. You can browse and check on the internet why active is better than passive, whether in the science, whether it's good or not. Yeah, in thesis. This is that's about it, everyone. And I want to thank you for your patience, for your cooperations, participation, cooperations and participation. Yeah, in this session, and I enjoy reading your responses. I think many of you already know some of the points I'm making, and maybe it's just that we need to know some parts of what we are doing. For example, some of you use the word run-on sentence. Yeah, those people who are not familiar with the American terms and American grammatical rules, they are I think British and American, you see. For example, this friend of mine, maybe she forgot what dangling modifier is, for example. I enjoy, there are many books on grammar, for example. My grammar, grammar. I have so many grammar books, and you can find them on the internet as well. Yeah. So enjoy grammar. Always when you read anything, look at the sentence. If you understand the idea that the person is trying to convey, and if not, you say, what's wrong with this? Because I stop. You say, if you stop at any reading, that means there is a grammatical error. Trust me. If you stop, I'm sure there is a grammatical error that you probably didn't realize, but it stopped. Okay then, Fakhzan, once again, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Prof. Once again, we would like to express our gratitude to our invited speaker today, Associate Professor Dr. Norita Omar from Department of English, Faculty of Modern Language and Communications, Universiti Putra, Malaysia. And thank you to all the participants who are joining us today, and to our organizer, UPM Bintulu Campus. All right, there will be another, we hope that will be another second session from you, Prof, in the future.
Yes, yes. I think I want to touch on. I think we have to start on sentence. Just go straight to sentence structure and passive form.
Correct.
We want-
There's supposed to be extension training, I guess, right?
I hope so. Yeah. If I have any requests from any of the students, you know.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will. All right, and thank you, everybody. And on the 14th July, we will have another session as well, preparing for Viva. And that's all from us. And have a pleasant day and stay safe. All right, thank you. Bye, everybody. Thank you again, Prof.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Fakhzan,
Yes, okay. Thank you very much.
Fakhzan,
Thanks.
Yes.
evaluation form.
Yes.
Do you have an evaluation form? Please. Is the evaluation form?
Yeah. Fakhzan, I asked Hakim to have an evaluation form.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have one. Ijoy, minta share je. Okay, dah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Everyone, thanks so much. Okay. Bye.
Thank you. Have a good day. All right. Thank you, Doctor.
Okay. Bye. Have a good day.
Omar,
Yeah.
still around?
Yeah.
Okay. So just in case the evaluation form. Hello.
Hello.
Just in case the evaluation form, if ada peserta yang belum dapat, then kita akan emailkan lah.
Boleh.
Attendance list kan?
Kita email je lah.
Because we have the attendance list, then we go through the attendance list later on. And then those yang belum dapat, then kita akan email kepada mereka, right?
Boleh, sure.
Okay, thank you, Cik Mat.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Enjoy. Okay, bye-bye.
Enjoy.
Alright.
Thank you ajak kah?
Share je.
Nasi lemak lagi sikit, Sof.
Boleh.